But up next, we're going to have William Holloway up against Joachim Hauge, our last top 32 battle of the entire competition today.
Yeah, so this is the last top 32 battle of the day. Also the last battle in our 3D Wrap group number 4. So we'll be seeing Joachim Hauge in the VOSAN S15. VOSAN S15. I'm sure VOSAN's watching.
VOSAN, yes.
Please someone send me a DM and how to vote. I said VOSAN in the ad read and no one yelled at me, so that's what I'm going to go with. Also sponsoring your course demo. Again, you can download this track once the event has concluded from vosan.co. And William Holloway representing Kyle Mohan Racing. If that name sounds familiar, think about the loudest car in Formula Drift and then multiply it by 2, and that's Kyle. Well, maybe not Hurst's car. That's also very ignorantly loud. but right there in the conversation is Kyle Mohan. Been a regular in competitive drifting for over a decade now. Very fun to watch. Loves to be there, and super stoked to have some esports representation for Kyle Mohan in the way of William Holloway, also an ESDA veteran. So very stoked to see both these guys run. And it is your last 32 battle of the day.
Super excited to see it. William Holloway, I was just excited to see the sheer number of RX-8s that we have this season.
There's more than 2, which is plenty.
Which is a lot, and they all shoot flames super high, which to me, I like a lot. And I don't care what anyone else says, that's a winner in my book. So we're going to have William Holloway leading Joachim Hauge in the chase and see what happens.
Joachim in the chase, number 22 qualifier in the VOSAN S15. Leading is William Holloway in the Kyle Mohan Racing RX-8. Good start so far. A little bit of left foot brake there from Holloway, getting out to go wall to wall. Joachim right on the door of William Holloway, trying to maintain proximity, but looks like he keeps dropping back just a little bit, trying to keep all 4 on the track. There is Joachim Hauge. You know what? Kyle Mohan is a California native. He's got to be proud of his driver out there. That was a great lead run.
Oh, I would be surprised if he didn't. With that kind of performance, how could you be upset with your team driving like that? Honestly, he didn't give the judges anything to like bat an eye at, opened the door up perfectly for Joachim to try and do a very good lead, and showed that maybe his car has a little bit more grip on tap than his competitor's car too. And the car shot flames 5 feet in the air. So therefore, I think he wins because of giant flames.
That's fair. That's valid.
I'm just saying, guys. So Joachim Hauge will lead here. William Holloway will chase, and we'll see what happens here in run number 2 of this battle. So, lined up here, Joachim Hauge in the lead, William Holloway in the chase.
You can hear it, that Mazda-Trix RX-8
it's so loud.
Growling on the line here, waiting to go. Lights are off, and away we go.
Okay, Joachim Hauge in the lead. William Holloway in the chase now, trying to tame that beast of an RX-8. Unless he started off giving himself a little gap, but now he's just glued to Joachim's door. Oh, no!
Wow.
Straighten out of William. That is such a shame. Such a big shame. I think that might have... I don't know. Do you think the judges would call that a straighten?
Absolutely a straighten. The only thing we have to talk about, Joe, is who is at fault. So just bashed my elbow on the table. That hurt a lot. But William Holloway in the chase position there. If you look at your bottom right of your screen, run number 2, Joachim looked like he went a bit deep into turn number 1. You see him going really wide there. William was on the correct line, and then Joachim's got to choke his line up, and William kind of had nowhere to go. So, you know, it might be arguable that you got to follow the lead car wherever the lead car goes, and William was on the ideal line. He was doing what he thought was correct, which, it's not wrong, but I'm interested to see how the judges call this here. I think, an obvious call might not be super obvious, but definitely a mistake from Joachim in the lead brought out that straighten. Good job from William to kind of mentally reset and come back from that, but it's going to be determined. The straighten will have implications, and it just determines who it's going to say who they will say it's at fault. That was
it will 100% be the deciding factor of this battle, in my opinion. I don't see it going any other way. The 2 runs otherwise were very close, except for that one inside clip on the first run, but I don't think that that's going to outweigh what happens here in the second run. So both drivers, William did do an excellent job of avoiding contact, but Joachim, I think he just overcooked it. He sent it so hard in the first group, put on so much angle, and had to bail out a little bit there. William had nowhere to go. So be aware, in drifting, there are ways to win and lose battles, and one may ask, how do you do that in a motorsport where one driver does not have to finish in front of the other? So drivers will compete head to head. Each battle consists of 2 runs where the drivers will change who is in which position. One driver will lead first and one driver will chase first. Then the higher seeded driver will lead that first run, and then 3 judges will determine a winner. Or if the battle is tied, it will result in a one more time and the drivers will run again. And that might be something called prefacing here for our judging call. So we're going to see who wins. We're going to slide him left for William Holloway, slide him right for Joachim Hauge, and put him in the middle for a one more time. We'll see what our judges say. All 3 for an OMT. So Keenan, we will see these drivers run again.
Yeah, not one of the first OMTs of the day. Definitely the first one in a while. Judges are saying that we're not sure who's at fault there. I think they've had mutual fault placed on that mistake. Very, very difficult to call. So they're just going to send them again. Again, Joachim Hauge in the chase position in that VOSAN S15, leading in the Kyle Mohan Racing RX8 is William Holloway. So Joachim, big angle from William in the lead position. Going to have to shallow it out a little bit, though. Shallow it out more than a little bit. Joachim trying to just make the best of it in the chase. Really hard to charge on the car. Both of them are in the wall, though.
And I think I saw William drive right into that wall. And with how gingerly William drove away there, I think that he agrees.
Yeah, I mean, with drifting as well, if that lead car zeros, it's a dead run. So whatever the chase car does is not at fault for them. No. They're really trying to just stretch out this top 32 as long as possible. Didn't start off the best for William there as well either, Joe, and then just,
got worse. Compounded into that outer zone 3. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think that might be only the 2nd victim to outer zone 3 today.
I think a lot of people learned a lot of things from qualifying yesterday, and it made for a really good event today. But we still have our 2nd run to go here in our last battle for our top 32. One of our first OMTs of the day. Who will be moving on? William Holloway, Joachim Hauge. We'll find out in about 20 seconds.
Oh, we definitely will find out. So Joachim Hauge in the lead, William Holloway in the chase. Both drivers definitely rattled from that first run. Big angle now from Joachim Hauge. Does he learn from his first run? It seems the drivers now can get through this without any issue. Going into outer zone 3, Joachim just wants to get a run in at this point. And if he can get across the line, I think William will have nothing to do, because now there's pressure, that no amount of pressure that will help out. And I think Joachim Hauge can walk away with that with his head held high.
I don't think... I love when a chase driver is sitting on a 0, because literally they drop a tire, doesn't matter. They go off course, doesn't matter. William Holloway's job is to scare the hell out of Joachim Hauge and force him into a mistake. In outer zone number 3, he did his darndest to try to force that VOSAN S15 off of line, force that driver into an error. I don't know about you, Joe. I didn't see anything wrong with that vehicle, so it's all going to come down to that lead run on run number 1.
So I do think that the judges saw William lead Joachim into a wall there. So we'll see what happens. In the unanimous decision, slide him left for William Holloway, slide him right for Joachim Hauge, in the middle for an OMT. And we'll see 1 for Joachim Hauge. 2 and 3 for Joachim Hauge. Excellent. Moving on, and he will battle Artem Muschenko in that top 32. But first, Keenan, we're going to have our first top 32 battle of Wayne Ebanks up against Edgar Rojas. Long Beach. So we'll have the winner of our number 6, Artem Muschenko, leading Joachim Hauge, our number 22 driver. See, lining them up here. Our 3D wrap group 4.
So yeah, Artem Muschenko in that all black everything S14. Right behind him, Joachim Hauge, driving out of Norway, representing VOSAN in the S15. So both of these guys driving out of Europe, trying to join the other 3 that we already have in our final 4. So that is Artem in the lead. Big tire drop there from Joachim in the chase position on that first inner zone. Seeing if he can make up for it here. Looks like he might be going a little bit wide, maybe not. Tracks it back in, staying on the door of that lead vehicle of Artem Muschenko, keeping all 4 tires in the judge zone. I think only mistake there from Joachim is the tire off on the inside. And with how consistent Muschenko's been today, that's not good news for Joachim Hauge.
Oh, no, not at all. But Joachim Hauge did overcome last time as well and has done before in this. So any driver, I think, left right now, and there are not many, has a solid chance to get into the final battle here. And because, as we spoke earlier, all the seeds in the final four, what are they? They're 20s, right? High 10s, low 20s. So, like, ooh, we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens in run number 2. It's still very much anyone's drivers here. We're going to have Joachim Hauge chasing Artem Muschenko. I was wrong. Muschenko's in the chase. There we go. That was me being wrong. My word's good. Joachim in the lead, putting it all the way out to the wall. Artem in the chase, coming through outer zone 3. Love to see it. Okay, the last zone, and it seems like Artem was really pivoting through that zone a little bit late, trying to stay on the door of Joachim. I don't know.
He used the touch and go quite like a touch and go. Joachim went a little bit wide, to be fair. That's I can't believe we have 2 Canadians in this booth. Joe's not, but me and Strix are, and that's the first Letterkenny reference we've made today. Joachim went a little bit wide. Artem went a little bit shallow. I think he came off the outer. I think you called it right, Joe. He came out of that touch and go just a little bit early to make sure he didn't lose proximity. But you can see him go, and try to like choke the car up and not drop a tire. I think I may have seen some rubber over that white line, which would mean they're both kind of sitting on a tire drop, which would negate those mistakes. So then you'd be just comparing what else we have to watch from them.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. The judges are definitely gonna have to watch the replay a couple more times side by side. But I think run for run, I think Joachim had a better chase, and I think Artem had a better lead overall. That's my call right now. That's what I think.
I mean, it's more than possible. I kind of liked how much Hogue got to the zones and how much angle he carried in those zones. But again, you know, both these guys sitting on individual mistakes for sure. Judges are going to have to either weigh one more than the other. We could be going OMT. You know, I'm feeling Artem just because the mistake he made could be argued it was a result of Joachim going a little bit wide, and he kind of checked up trying to see what he was doing in the lead position. But it is very subjective right now. That's something I love about drifting. It's up for interpretation. Judges aren't always going to agree with the Twitch chat. They almost never agree with the Twitch chat. But you know, it's very, very subjective when it comes to calls like these as well. When it's pretty close, it is going to come down to whatever judge feels whatever mistake was worse.
Yes. So I think that overall, the judges now are basically counting on their fingers, trying to see who has the most minor and major faults, and eventually they'll spit out an answer. Our judge bots today, we have the finest ones available too. So super excited for that. And then after this, the winner of this will go on against Quinn Ebanks. Speaking of a bot, that man has been driving like one today. It's just
like a robot, or the other way you would say bot.
A robot.
Okay.
I'm not hip with the youths.
It's a Counter-Strike reference because the bot AI are really bad.
Oh, I didn't know. See, I'm not hip with the youth.
I mean, me neither. The only listen, Strix, be quiet. We don't pay you to talk anymore. Shush.
Okay, we have a call.
And it is in the wrong chat. It is unanimous.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens here. Which direction? Slide him left for Artem, slide him right for Joachim. Keep him in the middle for an OMT. Got 1 OMT. 2 and 3 OMT. So we will see the same battle again here. Super excited to watch it, Keenan. I'll tell you what.
Boy, that dang cars going down this racetrack, boy, I'll tell you what, it's just... That's enough.
We've been watching so much drifting this weekend.
And apparently King of the Hill, too. Joachim Hauge going to be in the chase position in the VOSAN S15. And the more we talked about it, Joe, the more it seemed like it was going to go and lean in the OMT direction. Just kind of both of them sitting on mistakes. Not quite sure which way that was going to go. I think they could have picked a winner if they wanted to, but made a good call and saying, you know what, too close to call OMT. Artem Muschenko in the lead position, representing himself, sponsored by me. Nice job so far. Putting on the pressure is Joachim. Let's see if we can get to the door after this transition. Slowly creeping in here in the chase position. Right there is on Artem Muschenko. Maybe just opting to not get in that extra saucy zone in the proximity. But as a result of that, just a solid chase from Joachim Hauge and a solid lead from Artem Muschenko. I think they are dead even going into run number 2.
Oh, I think so too. Neither of them really seem to get lost in the sauce, like you said. Throwing it in here and just really sticking it to each other, leaving a respectful amount of space in transitions, and then just getting right back on the door. Artem really setting down a beautiful lead here, and Joachim just, like not capitalizing so much, but also not making any mistakes.
We've seen a lot of drivers try to push too hard in the chase and ended up forcing mistakes on themselves. So the only thing I saw wrong from Joachim there was I'd like to see him a little bit deeper in outer zone number 1. Other than that, pretty even.
No, I'm so excited to see what happens here in the second run here of this OMT. Joachim Hauge leading Artem Muschenko. Okay, ripping down the start into the initiation.
Oh, Joachim!
Oh, big initiation, but hangs on to it. I think he couldn't have sent it any harder without the judges actually taking off for Joachim, laying down a great run, leaving a little bit of space on the table through outer zone 3, but that's the only space where he really left something on the table there. And Artem putting as much pressure as he can, but I didn't see any wavering from Joachim in any way, shape, or form.
I think you called it, Joe. I think that car was at its maximum amount of angle before we entered the no-no zone.
Yeah.
Big rotation there from Joachim Hauge in the lead position. Artem just kind of letting him do his thing. I think both these drivers had the same mentality of everyone we've seen today push too hard, ended up costing themselves. So let's just put down 2 solid runs. Again, the only talking point I think that's really Artem, I think was robotic. I don't think he really did anything wrong. Would have liked to see him a little closer in the chase, but Joachim kind of did the same thing. But now Joachim's got that not so deep in outer zone number 1, but also the big entry in his lead. So he's got a kind of, I won't say a mistake, but a slightly a deduction, I guess you would say, versus something I'd give him extra points for. So I don't know if we're going to see an OMT again. I don't know if Artem's consistency is going to win him the battle. I don't know if Joachim trying to send it on his lead is going to be the difference maker here. We could very well see an OMT again.
I would like to think sending it that hard on the first corner is rewarded highly for him, because at least for me, I think in nerdy professional esports drifting, we should reward driving like that.
And it was rewarded really heavily in qualifying yesterday. Those who would have great runs but not really get out to that wall were getting 90-91s. And then you go into our number 1 qualifier of Deshaun Hack and Darren Baker. They were putting all that run together while getting really aggressive with that entry wall. Again, that is not a judged zone per se, but is absolutely on the line that you're looking to take into that first corner. And it's somewhere you want to be anyway. The longer you can sit out on that first wall, the tighter you can cut the first inner clip and the more speed you can carry through the power alley. So it's just a win-win, somewhere you want to be anyway. And then throwing big angle there just looks fantastic. It's super fun to watch. So it was rewarded in qualifying yesterday. I don't know if it's enough to make up for the slight deduction of maybe not getting out to the outer zone. Artem didn't really do a stellar job of getting to the outer zones either in his chase. He was there, don't get me wrong. He was there like swimwear. But he wasn't pushing it deep into the concrete wall like the lead driver of Joachim Hauge was. So
not at all. And I'm hearing some chirpings from the judges. It's kind of like once you put out that bird seed and the birds first come to the yard in the spring.
Thank the Lord for Nathan Rudder, because if Di was typing this out, we'd be here all week. Oh my goodness. That man is not in a hurry to go anywhere.
Nathan's talking about something, all right. He's getting in here. He's figuring it out. eventually. Okay, we do have a call in, so I think we'll get it here soon as our final top 16 battle, and the winner will go on to our top 8 battle up against Joachim Ebanks here. So we'll slide him left for Artem Muschenko, slide him right for Joachim Hauge. Keep him right in the middle for an OMT. See what our judges say here. Die for Joachim Hauge.
Oh.
Brady and Nathan for Joachim Hogue, going on to chase Joachim Ebanks in our top 8 battle.
That is a nail biter of a win for Joachim Hauge. We talked about it a little bit, Joe. He was rewarded for that commitment. That's extra little style, a little bit extra style did get him the victory. I got to imagine it was a very close call for the judges. That's why it didn't come in quickly. But Artem, they said, could not mimic in his chase. So again, Joachim, we saw maybe not get all that first outer zone. Artem made the exact same mistake, and Joachim knew, I think maybe knew, he wasn't sitting on a huge deficit, but needed to bring it in his lead, and he did just that. So unfortunately, Artem Muschenko having a great run today, but that will be the end of the Ukrainian driver's run here in ESDA round number 1 at Long Beach, presented by Traxion. However, we move on to the finals, and here's the skinny. Brandon Gardner driving out of the USA, number 25 qualifier. He won your Next Level Racing Group number 1. Group number 2, Alexander Elliman driving out of Ukraine, your number 2 qualifier out of your Moser Racing Group number 2. Reese Tatterson driving out of the UK for your Big Duck Club Group number 3, qualifying in the 15th position. And the winner of this, we could either get another European and make it 2 for 2, or 3 for 2, or we can get an American in there, and it'll be Euro versus US. Who's going to win? We'll find out right now. Joachim Ebanks, Joachim Hauge, final battle of the 3D Wrap Group number 4. Who's going to the finals? We are about to find out.
Let's see here. Super excited.
Joachim in the chase, Joachim in the lead. Joachim, we know, can pull off some things in the lead or in the chase, but Joachim Ebanks putting on a clinic so far, showing why he's your number 3 qualifier, trying to be your high-to-see-it driver in the finals. Joachim kind of coming off that outer line a little bit early. Joachim stayed out a little bit more, had to cut his line a little bit to make sure that the lead driver of Joachim Ebanks did not go anywhere. Again, I don't think we saw major mistakes, but definitely drivers reacting to the other and playing off the other, and you can see that in the driving.
Oh, for sure. And Joachim Ebanks doing his best to prevent Joachim Hauge to settle it in and bring all of our top 4 from basically the lower half of the top 32. But Joachim Hauge is he's on them, man. They're both driving as hard as they can for this final 4 slot. But I do think that last inside clip, again, is always going to be where the deciding factor lays. I don't know where else.
We saw it in qualifying yesterday, just how fast you can get transitioned, and will set you up for a nice inner clip. And a lot of guys were struggling with the speed and the transition. I think just the car setup is not there for the rest of the tracks. So they had to make some sacrifices. Run number 2 here in the 3D Wrap round 4.
Let's go. Joachim Hauge leading Joachim Ebanks. Big angle into the first inner clip. Joachim slowly catching up on that door, but Joachim is unfazed, it seems. Joachim cutting in a little tight. Oh my gosh, Joachim Hauge cutting it in perfect in this. Joachim made a mistake. Both drivers have a big mistake now.
Yep, so one, I think, is a bit worse than the other.
Ooh.
We saw a mistake from both drivers, and again, it came down to the corner we did not think would be that big of a deal. It's kind of just there to be there. But
it's a big deal, all right.
Again, with the strict judging here and the strict track limits that we have to impose, or else we would just be doing OMTs all dang day. I know some of you guys would like that, but somebody here's got beer to drink. So, slight mistake from Joachim. Would hate to see our number 3 qualifier go out like that. Hell of an event for him today, regardless of what happens for both of these drivers. Again, if Joachim Ebanks takes the win, we will have 2 Americans and 2 Europeans in that final. Final 4, if we get the win from Joachim, it'll be 3 Europeans in the North American tournament, making it into the Traxion GG Final 4. So it is all in the judges' hands here, and they've got a lot to talk about.
Oh, they definitely do. I do not envy our judges at all right now, especially when you're comparing one mistake to another.
I see that, Strix.
Let's go. Strix, some shameless self-promotion here. Let's go. we'll see what happens here. And the final driver into our top 4, I think I'm very excited either way. One way is Queen Ebanks just storming the grid all the way since qualifying. The other is a huge upset, leading to upsets for all of our final 4 at that point. Either way is a story about the day that I would love to see play out in front of us, but I don't know which one we'll see for sure. Which way are you leaning, Keenan?
I have to go with the VOSAN driver, the Norwegian, Joachim Hauge. I mean, he didn't. There's mistake for mistake, but one is missing a zone a little bit and overcharging. He did end up getting the zone, just kind of went in a little bit deep and composed himself. The next one was a tire drop. And
yes,
again, the track limits here are extremely, extremely strict. If you have one tire over, that is a major deduction. We saw people who had 90, 80, maybe 80, high 80, low 90s runs yesterday in qualifying get down into the mid to late or the mid to high 70s. So I think we might have a decision, and we do, and it is unanimous.
Ooh, I'm pretty excited about this call as well here. So we'll get all of our judges' notes in all official, like, to make sure that it's cool and hip for the youth here. Right before we head into our final 4. So this is the final call here. So slide them left for Queen Ebanks, slide them right for Joachim Hauge. We got die for Joachim, 2 for Joachim, and 3 for Joachim Hauge, our 22nd seed. So now our highest seed in our final 4 is number 15.
Burger King Footless.
Oh my God.
So, congratulations to Joachim Hauge, your 3D Rap Group number 4 winner. Ladies and gentlemen, our final 4 is set. Your next level racing group number 1 winner, Brandon Gardner. Your Mazda Racing Group number 2 winner, Alexander Element. Brandon Gardner out of the US, Element out of the Ukraine. Reese Tatterson in the Pro Drift Academy is 370Z was your Big Duck Club winner, group number 3 winner at a number 15th qualifier, and number 4, that VOSAN S15 for the 3D Rap Group number 4 was Joachim Hauge out of Norway. It's an almost all European final, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get these servers set up and head in to your Traxion GG final 4. Ladies and gentlemen, ESDA round number 1 from Long Beach presented by Traxion. We have one more break to take, and then we'll be back for our final 4 action. Who's going to win? Who's going to come second? Who's going to be on the podium? We will find out in mere minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. And Joachim Hauge on deck to see who follows or who's going to join Brandon Gardner in that final. Will we have Reese versus Brandon, or are we going to have Joachim versus Brandon? And we're going to see who makes it into the 3rd place battle.
Yes, we will definitely see here. So we're going to see now Reese Tatterson leading Joachim Hauge.
Looking at the poll here in Twitch chat, a lot of Reese Tatterson fans. Can't say I'm surprised. Coming off a huge DMVC win, I think last season. Got to drive the Wirthouse S15 over in Poland. That was such an awesome video to watch. If you haven't seen it, gotta recommend you go on YouTube and watch that. Having been a fan of Reese ever back since he was in the Forza days, to see him kind of jump in that pro car with no real drift experience and immediately get up to speed was a treat. It put a big smile on my face. But Joachim Hauge trying to play spoiler for Reese, making their first appearance in an ESDA final since we moved on to the Assetto Corsa service. It is VOSAN versus Pro Drift Academy. There can be only one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the second half of the final 4, of your Traxion final 4 of the ESDA round number 1 here from Long Beach. So many sponsors that keep screwing this up.
Oh, there are so many.
I mean, it's down to them that we can make all this happen. But 1 light, 2 lights, no lights. Away we go. Reese Tatterson in the lead position in the 370Z. Joachim Hauge in the... Okay, good move from Joachim Hauge. I think he may have missed a shift there, Joe, because I think that got some lag or something, because he parked it right at the restart line. That is a feature of ESDA. Honestly, one of my favorite rules in ESDA. If you feel like you didn't get a good jump or you didn't get a good... run off the line, as long as you're showing intent to stop before that first blue line, you will get a reset. It's not something you can abuse, of course, but Joachim opting to big battle for Joachim, so I do not blame him. Don't be afraid to be that guy. If you feel like you didn't get the run, take the reset.
Okay, so we're going to line up and see this reset. Happy to see it here. There we go.
You know, because Joachim's not driving to the line, and neither of these guys are going to the line, I do think we may have some desync, some lag issues. So we'll keep you guys posted on that when we know. It's just a hypothesis, but I did see a lot of jittering from Joachim. They're pulling to the line now, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I hope that we will see actual battle here. It's always such a letdown to get all excited, start your run, and then have to call it right off.
Yeah, I got to yell all over again now. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, of course. Get excited one more time.
All right, rerun of that first battle. Joachim Hauge opting to take the reset, and that is a smart move from the VOSAN driver. Reese Tatterson going to see if he can mentally reset from throwing it in there. It looks like he did not complete the lap, so still lots of strength left in those tires of that Pro Drift 370 machine.
Yep. And we'll see they're lined up, and it must feel like an eternity sitting on that line.
Again, the longer you wait, the more pressure you build, and it could cause a lot of these drivers to crack here as we are set to go.
There we go.
On this reset. I think they're just waiting for the stream team to be ready, but we were born ready, ladies and gentlemen. Reese Tatterson in the lead in the Pro Drift S. Oh my God.
No!
Before I could even correct myself, Reese Tatterson getting really comfortable with that turn one wall. Joachim Hauge is going to do his due diligence and try to finish this run, but I think maybe we'll have to take a look at the replay. I think we'll have to see, but I think maybe Joachim Hauge just knew this battle was super important, knew he had to put it on the door, and I think just got a little too aggressive.
Maybe a little too much there, and I hate to see it, but it's so easy to do as a driver. It's so easy to just send it a little too much, especially after a reset like that where your nerves are all shaken, you're out of your element. We'll see what happens, you know?
Yep, but we just saw it there on the replay again. Sorry to cut you off, Joe. Front to front wing contact. Saw the front quarter panels touch there. That's not something you want to see at all. So Reese not able to control the car, opts to shut it down, runs it a 0. So Joachim Hauge sitting on a 0, going to take a monstrous run from Joachim Hauge right now to force this OMT.
Yeah, I think so. Reese is just going to play it very, very easy in that chase if he's smart. We're going to wait one moment here. Okay, and we are good to go. So, Reese Tatterson in that 370Z in the chase. We got Joachim Hauge in the league in that S15 right on his door. And yes, it seems like Reese is playing it a little bit safe here, or at least safe for Reese. Right on him through outer zone 3, outer zone 4, and through the inside clip. Maybe cutting it a little too tight. But I think after that first run, they don't have to worry too hard.
So he has 2 single tire drops. One on the first corner and one on the last corner, both on the only inner clips. I do not think that's a 0, but I have been wrong before. Not to build tension to where there is none, but that is 2 single drops. I think that's just 2 individual deductions. I did not see 2 tires off, which would be a 0. Joachim, though, going out swinging, and you know he's not done here. This is not a certain series that doesn't run third place battles. We absolutely do. So the winner of this battle is going to move on to the finals. The loser will be battling Alexander Element for 3rd place.
Super excited to see it as well, because I think that all of these drivers, I'd love to see them run again here, even with the contact. Hopefully we won't see that in a 3rd place battle or the finals, and we don't have to worry about mechanical gremlins keeping driver out of the finals as well. So I'm excited to see. We got both these battles, or maybe a 3rd one if we get an OMT from our judges, but so far they're just like a stone wall back there. We hear humming and beeping coming from their room, but we don't have anything else from them yet.
Only some murmurings. The smoke has not come out of the chimney yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we can get a call here. I think they're just going to weigh those 2 single tire drops and see if that is enough to... this is not going in Joachim Hauge's favor, unfortunately. I do not think so. It is either going to be Reese Tatterson, or they're going to say that it is a 0-0 and going OMT. But you know, that's, again, I think 2 single tire drops does not really equivalent to, or is not really equivalent, sorry, buy me a dictionary, not really equivalent to the contact and forced 0 of that lead vehicle. But I mean, a 0 is a 0, so we'll see. But we do have a result from the judges.
Yes, the smoke has gone from white to black out of the smokestack.
I'm really glad you picked that reference up.
So
really
we're going to get through it here. Got the judges. They're walking out here. They got their robes on. Reese, slide it to the right. Joachim, slide it to the left. Leave it in the middle for an OMT. And we will see 1 to Reese. Ooh, 2 to Reese. And I think we know now. So, good calls, everybody. And we're moving on. We just wanted to make sure that the contact was as we wanted to make it happen.
Yeah,
well,
just doing the due diligence there, I think, Joe, and making sure that the contact was deemed at fault on the proper person. So, you know, there was that decel zone. It did happen, I think, just outside the decel zone. So they may have been double checking just to see Reese wasn't on the brakes excessively or made any kind of major mistake. So moving into our top 3 battles. So the winner of this battle will be getting 3rd place. Is it going to be Alexander Element or is it going to be Joachim Hauge? This is an all-Euro battle. This is Ukraine versus Norway.
Love to see it.
And Element is our number 21 qualifier, so he will be leading only by 1 spot. Joachim Hauge, your number 22 qualifier.
Yeah, that's crazy. They that close in qualifying, and now they're 3rd and 4th place. It's very strange. Just arbitrary bottom low of the field to get to the 3rd and 4th slot like this. But what a day of drifting. So many, like, just underdog wins, and it's amazing. I'm sorry, just some words distract me sometimes, and it's so amazing.
Really, really strong driving. Thank you, Hex.
Yes.
I've been trying to make that joke all day, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting till I can get away with it. So again, Element leading, Joachim chasing. The winner going to be walking away with the bronze medal. And again, we are back to a traditional points format, so every position counts. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first run of the first deciding battle to see who will be at the first step on the podium. Alexander Element, Joachim Hauge. The winner be getting 3rd place. 2 lights, no lights. Here we go. Alexander Element in the Ferrari leading. Joachim Hauge in the S15, in the VOSAN S15, giving chase. Big angle from Element, but he's going to straighten out just a little bit. Joachim Hauge doing a great job not getting into the door of Alexander Element, but Element trying to recover, but Hogue's in the wall. Hogue is in the wall once again. Not the first time we've seen him get real comfortable with concrete this afternoon, but Joachim Hauge just a little bit too long, was a little bit too far on that outside line, Joe. Ended up catching the wall, and that is going to cost him dearly.
I am just caught on, what is it? Comfortable with concrete. It's like a kid's book almost. Coming through here, Alexander Element having a very good lead, but the driver's kind of getting into it, not agreeing on the line through the first corner. But then by the outside zone 3, it seems like Alexander settled down and Joachim stuck it just a little bit too far out into that outer zone here, Keenan. It's crazy.
Almost seems like he got lost in the smoke a little bit. These pro drivers hate to pull the veil off a little bit. Usually turn their smoke off so they're able to see where they're going and not get lost in the smoke. But that's almost what it looked. He just dropped back a little bit and then bam, there he is into the wall. So Element just needs to put on a solid run, but he's needed to do that a few times today and costed himself. So let's see what happens here. Still anyone's game, but Joachim Hauge is going to need to send it and then some.
Joachim Hauge in the lead, Alexander Element in the chase here in a battle that may or may not be settled. We'll see what the judges say about it. Big initiation from Joachim Hauge, trying to flap Alexander Element into any form of a mistake here, going wall to wall, throwing it as hard as he can into outer zone 3 where he hit the wall last time, coming through, and then it just seems Alexander Element's putting a healthy amount of gap, just enough to say I'm here. It's not an active chase. I'm still competitive, but I know that I think I have this in the bag.
Yep, I mean, Joachim Hauge has been really fun to watch when he's been under pressure today. But unfortunately, I think Element was the first driver, the first run I've seen from him where he's had an advantage going into the second run, where he's just went, yeah, I know what to do. If you look at the replay here, you're going to see Joachim Hauge start to lag a little bit. like Alex tries to close the gap, and I think Joachim wiggled a little bit due to latency. And right that second, Alex went, I want third place, I think, and then just backed off half a car length. Really, really smart driving from Alexander Element. I've been trying to not do the in his element joke all day today, but honestly, right there in the chase, just watching that heads up maneuver, gotta say, man, like the very, very, very smart heads up driving from Alexander, potentially the first member of our ESDA round number 1 podium.
Excellent. So just got word we will be withholding knowledge of who got third place until the end for show business sake, for the suspense of it all, everybody. So get excited. We'll announce the winner of that battle after this next battle between Brandon Gardner and Reese Tatterson. Tatterson will be leading first.
So yeah, Reese and Brandon, both of these guys are top 3 for ESDA round number 1. Joseph,
yes,
would you like to let us know, once the cameras are all there and everything, who came in third place?
I would be so happy to do so, Keenan. And I think that we are ready to announce that. Am I correct or incorrect here?
We are absolutely ready to announce that now.
Oh, I am so lovely. So in our third place battle between Alexander Element and Joachim Hauge, by unanimous decision, Alexander Element takes a third place finish today in that Ferrari 599XX. Congratulations to Alexander Element in third place.
Nothing to take away from Joachim Hauge. Joachim Hauge had a wonderful event. Ended up taking out 3 super high qualifiers, William Holloway, Artem Muschenko, and Ebanks to get here, but unfortunately fell victim to the elements was my funny joke, Alexander Element. But we have a winner, and it is unanimous. Your winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen, round number 1, ESDA, presented by Traxion here from Long Beach. Your winner and points leader will be Reese Tatterson. Reese Tatterson going 1 for 1 on the Assetto Corsa ESDA circuit. He has won for the Pro Drift Academy esports team and will be taking the top step of the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, Reese Tatterson is your winner in ESDA round number 1, presented by Traxion.
Congrats, Reese, and congrats to Brandon, Alexander, and congrats to everybody who made it into the top 32 today and competed, because I don't know about you, Keenan, but the battles today, they were next level on the level from everybody involved. It was amazing.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of battles today were decided by